You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
They're reeling Lou back in, not reeling us back in, but Lou Lamarillo. No, we are kidding. We are not reeled back in. But what is going on? Matt O'Leary alongside Mitch Anderson for another Up the Turnpike postgame show. Mitch, what are you thinking after a 3-2 win over the Winnipeg Jets?
Lou better fucking not. I don't often curse, but he better not be like, well, we are 3 points out now. So no, man, you can't do it.
Lou got the Winnipeg's GM on the horn and said, "Lose my effing number." Click.
But yeah, apparently Brock had an emotional interview. Something and his voice cracked, I guess. It was emotional. I have to watch it, but
I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna look to see if it's post. Okay. Do you want to listen to it? I can pull it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so let's do that. Shout out Rob Taub for the video, but we'll play it.
Tough back-to-back. It's a really good team. It's a big win for us.
What's the most special part about playing here at UBS Arena for you?
Everything. I mean, all of it. I think it's a great place, great fans.
Brock, I hope to see you soon. Thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah. Oh my
God. That hurt. And, like, that's what we were saying yesterday too, man. Like, we didn't want to be in this spot. I like Brock Nelson. He's done awesome things for the Islanders. It has to be done. It sucks, but like, man, hearing that it makes this harder and suck more.
Yeah, absolutely. That was tough, and that's through like the speakers at UBS through a phone, right? So you're not hearing it as well, but you can even just hear how they're speaking, and like Michelle says, the way that Shannon Hogan said it, like at the end, it's all but clear that he gone. My God. He better freaking not. He better not. Yeah. Anyways, we haven't even talked about the game yet, but already tears, it seems, in the post game. But good stuff during the game.
Yeah, definitely good stuff during the game, Mitch. The Islanders score a power play goal. How about that? Let's get to it. Kyle Palmieri from guess who? Brock Nelson. That duo, maybe for the final time.
Probably.
On the power play.
And such a good play here too, right?
It worked to absolute perfection. Brock is wide open. Palmieri heads to the net. Like, again, picture perfect power play.
Yeah, from everyone involved. Holmstrom does not get a point here, but he deserves one for fending off 2 Winnipeg Jets here along the boards. Finding Palms, who finds Bo, tic-tac-toe type of play. Perfectly executed. Fantastic. Let's go.
I know we gave a lot of credit to Nelson and Palmieri there for that play, and deservedly so. It was a great setup, great finish.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Simon Holmstrom was awesome tonight.
Yeah.
The play at the end with the empty net where he gets it out of the zone, and he almost, I wish there was an extra second and a half so he could have, because he deserved the goal tonight with how he was playing. But I wanted to call out Simon Holmstrom doing the little things right on the power play. Puts the Islanders up 1-0 in the first period.
Yeah, excellent stuff. And again, on the power play, that has been desperately needed for a while. The penalty kill is better now. I know that the Winnipeg Jets do convert on the power play here, but still, for the longest time, it has been dreadful. But since they showed it on the broadcast, right, like January 1st, I think it was, best penalty kill in the league. So they figure something out. That's great. The first period wasn't all Islanders though, right? Like for the first little bit, it was all about the Winnipeg Jets. And was it in the first period where Alex Romanov had that massive hit? Was it even on Lowry? That changed the tempo of the game, I think.
Dude, if there's a leader of the Alex Romanov fan club, I want to be carrying the flag because that's my guy. Just love the physicality that he brings. I don't want to spoil with ice times, but solid night from Alex Romanov.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been not even just tonight, right? It's been weeks now where he has been fantastic. Basically, ever since Noah Dobson went down, he's like, I've got to step it up. not just offensively, but I have to have a bigger presence for this team, it seems. And step up he did physically, which is the big calling card of his game. Just impact on the game defensively, impact on the game transitionally. It's all working for Alex Romanov. It has been fantastic to watch.
It has been fantastic to watch. That first period, Mitch, 17 shots for the Islanders in that first period.
That's surprising. I didn't think it was going to be nearly that high.
No, I thought it'd be close, but I thought it'd be even with between the Islanders and Winnipeg, to be honest with you. But 17-10. I was thinking like 10-9, 9-8 would have been my guess if I hadn't looked at it previously.
Yeah, because again, the beginning of that period was mainly Winnipeg Jets focused. I'm actually really surprised. Corsi was 26-17 at 5-on-5 for the Islanders. That's pretty nuts. And yeah, you see it. If you're on natural stat trick, the Corsi graph dips towards the Winnipeg Jets and just spikes towards the Islanders near the end of the first period. Insane.
Yeah. Crazy.
But you're after a really shit game yesterday, you're leading 1-0 against the very best team in the NHL with the best goalie in the net as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, unreal stuff. And that momentum carried over to the second period, Mitch, because only a minute 33 in, and guess who? The man of the hour, Brock Nelson, scores what could be his final goal as a New York Islander, his 20th of the season. That is now 9 years that Brock Nelson has scored 20 or more goals as a New York Islander.
Yeah, the play by Sippy Cup there has to be acknowledged. Giving it to Brock instead of just trying to get it on net, and he had nothing. He had no angle. Hellebuck had him covered. The zone entry by the two, the pass by Noah Dobson, but
perfect.
All of it worked well. Like, I don't understand how they can pull this off today against the Winnipeg Jets, but they couldn't figure it out yesterday for the life of them.
Yeah, I don't know. None of this makes sense. I wanted to play it one more time because there's something specific I wanted to talk about. I just want to pause it at the right time here. Okay, when they go back to Brock, this only works because he's a lefty on the offside. If that's a righty, that's on the wrong side of him. Unless he's trying to backhand it in, but significantly harder play. It just perfection. Really nice play between 7 and 29 on this one.
You're absolutely right, because if it's a righty, you got to come across your body, right? Like it's just not as obvious, as natural. So good pickup by you there, having the lefty come in. But now you're up 2-0 against the very best team in the NHL. You knew a push was coming. You knew it was coming. It was just how were we going to defend it, and could we defend it? And we held for 7 minutes.
Josh Morrissey would score on the power play, assisted by Scheifele and Kyle Connor. Their power play, and specifically their top line, is just absolutely ridiculous. They were going to get something eventually here.
Yeah, and it came off of us. Simon Holmstrom tries to get a skate on it, deflects past Sorokin, who's already full stretch and just can't stretch anymore to get a toe on it.
Yeah, because he was sliding left to stop it too. Like, tough play, fluky goal that happens on the power play. It just, I think I put it in the Discord too. So if you're not a Patreon member, make sure to sign up for podcast and also Discord access. In the group chat, I was saying, how many own goals have the Islanders scored in the past week? It's got to be like 3 or 4, right?
It is over the last 23 games, as one of our patrons as well. On top of that, I think it was Kevin. I want to get the number. It's Casey. He said, tried counting it up last night. Of the last 23 goals against, 7 have come off Islanders. 1 is off Coyle's helmet or Cooley's helmet, and 2 empty net goals. So 10 of our last 23 goals against, up until that point, up until the Morrissey goal, were a direct result of coming off some sort of Islander type of thing. Wow. 44%, I think it is. Yeah, 43.5%.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not great, but shit like that happens to bad teams, and we are a bad team right now. Although not today, apparently.
No, I want to toss this one up from Michelle. It says, and probably 90% from Tony D'Angelo. Feels
not
that
wrong.
way.
Not wrong. It really isn't. Oh, man.
So Isles up 2-1 after 2 shots. Winnipeg had more in the second period, 13-7 in shots for that second period.
Because again, the push was coming, right?
I was just going to say they had the push in the second half of that period.
Yeah, it's just, can you manage it? Can you keep them from getting ahead? And we did for a little bit, and then we get another one to start the third period. Again, within the first 5 minutes, Ryan Pulock with a blast that comes off of their player. So carbon copy almost of the Josh Morrissey goal.
Pretty much. Yeah. Ryan Pulock with the booming shot just puts it on net and it bounces in.
Yeah, man. Pucks to the net. Insane stuff. This is why Patty is preaching that, and why it's maybe not working, but why it works, because other teams do it. It's just in this case, it's working for us for a friggin' change.
Yeah. They got it to go. Islanders up 3-1. Still have a long way to go. And unfortunately, another power play goal for this time future Islander. Nikolai Ehlers.
I don't know if I'm in on Ehlers.
Yeah, the age. It was more so just because we've talked about him forever. But
past future Islander.
Yeah.
But the Islanders were really passive on this penalty kill. They didn't count it on, or they don't show it there. But if we have 5-on-4 power plays, shots for the Winnipeg Jets only had the one shot on net, but 6 shot attempts on that power play in the third period. It's just it's going to happen, man.
They were going to get one eventually, and they did exactly that.
Yeah. And so to me, I was worried. Although I have to admit, and I'm sure like everyone else, worried, maybe not. It wasn't as bad of a worry, right? Usually you're really like, oh my God, we're going to lose this game. Oh my God. That initial feeling steps in of like, oh my God, we're going to lose this game. But then you take a step back and you're like, wait a second, that might be a good thing. Because every other team that we're chasing friggin' lost today, so we made ground with the win.
So the Islanders do make up ground here with the win. We'll get to that in a second. Just wanted to point out, I mentioned it when we talked about the first goal of the game, but Simon Holmstrom with a really big play with a breakup inside their own zone with the empty net. Pretty much that was what sealed it, and he almost netted an empty net goal about a half a second too late. But a 3-2 New York Islanders win against a really damn good Winnipeg Jets team.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good for Le Moral. Like some of these guys are still pretty darn good players, and then we can build off of that. As you mentioned, Simon Holmstrom, great. Noah Dobson played well. So it's just building off of that going forward. But this doesn't change a goddamn thing, Lou. You better not fucking look at the standings and be like, oh, we're only 3 points out, like Aloy points out. We're good here. Let's buy, baby. Please no. Please no. Right?
No.
Sloppy
the decision
thing.
Yeah, the decision it has to be done. Oh, that I didn't need to see that video of Brock Nelson emotional at the end. Like that just makes this so much harder. Yeah. And like we've said it for months, Mitch. We have spent how many podcast episodes, how many post games saying you got to trade Kyle Palmieri, you got to trade Brock Nelson, but it does. Brock Nelson was drafted by this team in 2010 as an 18-year-old. Like we've seen this kid like grow up, become a father, like be on a lot of great New York Islanders teams, and it's sad and it's unfortunate that this is where we are.
Yeah, it's not every day that you have a 75-year-old that you can trade away and get something for him. That's me casting dispersions on a guy who's younger than me but looks older than I am. You're absolutely right, and it's gonna suck when he's traded. It really is. But it's the right thing to do. And obviously he knows that, but he doesn't want to leave necessarily because it's never comfortable to leave home. And that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's coming. And again, doesn't mean it's the wrong decision. We've all said that we think it's the right call, but it's going to be a tough pill to swallow, Mitch.
Yeah, it just depends on what we get back for him.
Yep. All right, let's do some box score numbers, and then we will get into our game and get into the comments as well. Shots on goal, 29-28 for the Islanders. Face-off percentage, Winnipeg slightly better at 50.9%.
Sorry, on that, do you think that the Bo Horvat puck to the inside of his hand kind of shit on those face-off numbers? Because immediately when he came back on the ice, he lost that first face-off after coming back. That must take away a lot of his face-off power, if you will.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it did play a factor. There's a team that like Islanders usually on most nights win it pretty handedly.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So sorry.
2 for 3 were the Winnipeg Jets. So tough night for the Islanders PK, although they did get a power play goal. They went 1 for 2. Penalty minutes, 11-9 hits, 34 hits for the Islanders. To Winnipeg 16 block shots. Talk about, you mentioned it off air before we got started. Barry Trotz like performance, ton of hits, ton of block shots, low event hockey. 13-9 in giveaways, and takeaways were 8-4 Winnipeg with 4 more.
You look at those last 3 numbers, and that's kind of a winnable game. You're putting yourself in a good position if you do those 3 things and get some better offense. And we should be winning those games, even against good teams.
Most amount of ice time for forwards, Mitch, is who?
Brock Nelson.
20 minutes and 14 seconds for Brock Nelson, who had a 2-point night.
Simon Holmstrom was close, I assume, right?
18:53. He was second. He's been in the top 3 now for the last 4 games.
Yeah. They mentioned that on the broadcast as well. And we played this game, and Simon Holmstrom was the leading. Oh no, you were away. He led the team at ice time, which was just stupefying to me.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah. Okay, so least amount of ice time, Mark Gatcombe.
Yeah,
Did
it's
he
very
play.
close. 8:03 for Gatcombe, Kyle McLean 8:05, Hudson Fashing 8:48.
I remember seeing Hudson Fashing out there quite a bit. I don't remember seeing Kyle McLean. And maybe once in the first period I saw Kyle, but not Mark.
McLean got 2 seconds more of ice time, so it's essentially the same. But Gatcombe got 10 shifts to McLean's 8.
Did Pierringville play?
No.
I don't remember seeing him either.
No, he didn't play. That's
yeah, because they're playing 7D, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No.
Okay.
Siplikov and Duclair were in.
Right. So I guess that throws away. So Matty can't hit 1,000 games then, right? Or is it if he plays every game after the deadline?
Yeah.
Okay. We're safe here. Most amount of ice time for defensemen. I think you kind of spoiled it. It's going to be Alex Romanov.
23:51 for Romanov.
Let's go. That's good. He's been so friggin' good. I friggin' love that guy.
And he has been very good. He's earned it.
Least amount of ice time, Mayfield again.
14:46 for Scott Mayfield.
Okay, a more reasonable amount of ice time. He still didn't look that great.
I kind of like where everyone's ice time is. So you have Romanov 23:51, Pelech 21:35, Dobson 20:45, D'Angelo 19:33, Pollock 17:47, Mayfield 14:46.
Yeah, just spread it out, man. Just spread it out. Don't wear anyone out. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Sorokin really good. 26-28, 2 goals against. Both came on the power play, so allowed 0 even strength goals and a 929 save percentage.
Yeah, a little bit of a concerning thing here. Connor brings up: was he hurt at the end of the game? He left the ice right after his team game of head bumps, and he was leaning on the net afterwards. You can see that. I think he tried to make a play on a puck late in the period, and I don't know if he pulled anything, but I think he had some discomfort in his groin, is what I'm speculating as a goalie. That to me, looking at that, I'm going, that's going to hurt my groin for a little bit.
Haven't seen anything yet, but if we're going through comments and something pops up, I'll be sure to pop in. But we haven't heard from Patrick Waugh or anybody yet.
Yeah, exactly. So we're fine. Okay. To comments then? Is there anything else? Okay.
No, let's do comments.
All right, let's scroll up to the beginning. There's a lot of repeats, so I'm not going to do every one of them, but we'll see. Okay. Watching the game on Canadian TSN feed, thank you very much. Hellebuck and Sorokin both have the same bald blade cut, and there's a lot of honking going on. Not sure if you can hear it on your feed. I couldn't hear it. I know the honking he's talking about, but I couldn't hear it.
Okay, so is that a TSN specific thing, the honking, or was that something that was happening in the arena? Because I was watching No Sound, Tuesday stream night, as you guys know.
Yeah, I still hear it on MSG feeds. I did not hear it today, but I think it's just the sound was a little bit lower on my TV. I was working on some bass parts for a song for my band, and so I was just kind of in and out in terms of volume. But I usually hear the honk, honk all the time, and it's just the dumb curve on their blades. It's weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Kaloy, good send off for Nelson and Palms. Absolutely.
Yep.
A lot of emotional stuff here from Nelson. So we covered that already. Okay. No matter what the Islanders do this deadline or offseason, from David, player coach wise, they need to fix the special teams. We're so bad on the power play and penalty kill, and makes it next to impossible to win.
They do need to be better. on special teams. Butch Goring has brought this up a lot recently on the broadcast. He keeps saying like you got to be top third in the league, which is true, by the way. Like it seems obvious, but makes life so much easier if that's the case.
Yeah, at least in one of them, I'm gonna say, yeah, and then I don't know, top 2/3 in another. But you cannot be bottom third for both. That is just not a recipe for success. Maybe you make the playoffs by like the skin of your, what is the saying? Anyways, you barely make the playoffs, or you back into them, maybe. But you don't go anywhere with the special team that isn't going to do anything for you. Absolutely not.
No.
Let's keep going here to see what else they've got. Over all the years back to 84, Nelson goes down as one of my favorite Islanders, up there with Turgeon.
Wow.
It's high praise.
That is high praise. If you look at, so he had 2 points tonight and another goal. So I'll pull up his numbers. Potentially 901 games played, 295 goals, 574 points. He had, I mentioned it before, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons with 20 plus goals for the Islanders.
Lot.
9 in 12 years.
That's pretty good. And then there's one where he had 19, isn't there?
2017-18, he had 19.
Yeah, the year before Barry. Yeah. We thought, like, is he going to do it every year? He's good for 20, and he doesn't. We're going, oh my God, here we go. And then Barry Trotz completely fixes him.
Yep.
Instantaneously. Mercy's asking, or not even asking, but just pointing out, I know they asked a little bit later. Brock and Palm's trade value increases big time after tonight. I'm on pins and needles in regards to who we are going to get for them. And then they basically ask us, who does everyone think we'll be getting back for Brock and Palms? What do you say, Mitch?
Yeah, I think we've kind of been on like at least for Palmieri, a second round pick and a older prospect, like a 23, 24-year-old that's like maybe played a little bit in the NHL, more of an AHL guy would be my guess there.
Yeah, that's for Palms. That's kind of where I was as well. On the podcast, I'd mentioned like a second round pick and something like basically like a Scott LaChance or Shane LaChance, like a 6th round pick a couple of years back who's popping off at the NCAA, and we pick him off and hope to turn him into something type of thing. That's what I'm thinking for Palms. For Brock, I mean, if Scott Lawton's getting you a first round pick, then Brock's getting you first and a good prospect minimum.
First and either a very, very good prospect or someone who is like already in the league and young.
Yeah, 100%. Michael's asking, here's a hypothetical. What is an appropriate opening bid in a charity auction for an autographed Nelson jersey? Like $500, I think.
I don't know. I'm not much of I don't have a lot of signed memorabilia. So I don't know really what they go for. Or what it would potentially go for.
I haven't bought a single one of the signed memorabilia I've got here. Not a single one. So I also don't know the price. I do know the price of a jersey, at least in Canada, with the numbers and letters is going to get you somewhere up well above $200. So I'm thinking that plus an autograph. And I assume this is like a game worn jersey as well. So the value is a little bit higher, I think. And then I tried to convert for American dollars.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a range. I see one that's like $350. I see one that's like $650. So it's going to vary there.
Yeah. Andre, I don't know about this one, buddy. It's a shame Lou wasted opportunities to make this team a contender with Brock. There were a couple years where they were.
Yeah, really from like 2022 to 2024, 5.
Yeah.
Like the last 4 years, you could say that. Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess contenders because they went far in the playoffs, but I think Andre will say, well, they didn't do that well in the regular seasons type of thing. They kind of backed into the playoffs, but
so
doesn't that's the whole thing of the playoffs, man. Doesn't matter how you get there.
Just got to get in. But yeah, they didn't really do enough after 2021. That's becoming obvious.
Yeah. He's sticking with it. Screw it. We're trading for Rantanen and Barzy will magically have a working knee, and then 2019 Blues, baby. I love it, but it's too late.
I also love that level of optimism. I can't get there right now, though.
No, absolutely not. Steve pointing out how Niederreiter came over to Cizikas instantaneously. The second he hit him with the shot. I don't know if you saw that, Matt, when you were doing the Jet stuff, but it looked scary, man.
It did. I saw the replay. I didn't see it live. Like they re-showed it and I watched it back. But yeah, that could have been bad. Yeah,
that could have been just a fraction in a different space, and that the friggin' destroys him. Mike, all the teams for the wild card lost, and then Kyle throws in Lou's now committed to buying after seeing a sub about Nelson.
We have Patrick Waugh quote on Palmieri and Lee, if you want me to pull that up. Palmieri and Nelson, rather.
Okay. Oh boy, here we go.
Just what was your sense of the emotions, specifically with Brock and Kyle today? I know they each scored. You know, Brock seemed a little bit emotional about it.
Well, I mean, they love this organization. I mean, they Brock's been here from the start, and so I mean, he did a lot for this franchise. So I mean, I'm sure it's a moment that they do not control, but at the same time, I mean, it's a business, isn't it?
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. As soon as my camera gave out, I didn't have to clean anything out of my eyes. The camera just gave out.
That sounds like a coach who knows what's coming in the next couple of days.
Yeah, he gone. Kaloy is absolutely right. He gone.
Yeah.
It's really just going to be for what? Like, what are we getting out of it? It's really going to be it. But according to Chad, I think he's being a little facetious here. If this is Lou's last year, please, no way Lou trades anyone. I don't know.
It seems like it's trending towards that direction. I just hope the Islanders get a good return, and I think they can.
I think so too. Right, like it's a seller's market. Someone mentions that here. Yes, again, Kaloy. Given what Boston got for an injured Frederick, right? I didn't realize this until it happened that Frederick is injured and isn't playing, and might not even play this season. And still, 3 teams got value out of him. Insane, or two teams, and then maybe the Oilers get value. So we're gonna get something for Brock.
That's pretty telling.
Yeah. And then Sloppy's like, I'm officially no longer afraid Lou won't do the right thing.
Yeah, it's coming. We're gonna just be sitting on our hands waiting for it. Yeah. We'll pop on if something happens before the deadline Friday. We'll come on and we'll talk about it. But if not, then we'll be. I think regardless, still we'll be live for the trade deadline, right?
We will be live for the trade deadline here on YouTube, no matter what. Even if we have done something already, because you never know, something else could happen. And if not, then we get to talk about everything else that everyone else is doing, and we can do the full-on Spudge Bond beam. It'll just be us.
Yeah, just
reverse.
Reverse. We did all our stuff already. Now we react to everyone else's. So yeah, sounds like a plan.
So be here or be not here and don't enjoy it, you jerks. So be here. And as Chad always says, hit the like and subscribe button, please.
Leave a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I'm Matt. He's Mitch, and we'll catch you next time.